call me the dick whisperer because of the way I make them rise. 10 hut like soldiers, ready to fight. Mystique gonna take good care of you, make you feel like a big kid now. So come grovel at my feet and give your mistress a bow.
Yo, I'm no chiropractor, but I'm about to crack your back. Everything you never knew you need is going down tonight. I hope you got your say we're ready now. Let's take a flight. Have your elevator higher than the sky, indeed. Floating on cloud 9 in ecstasy. You be falling in love, making love to me. Now, girl, what's my name?
Every time, bro.
Every single time.
Every time. Dora.
Oh shit, my bad. I was sending the link. I do it every time. I didn't miss my cue. I was on. Oh shit! Now my computer about to die again. So.
Oh my lord!
I need to get me a webcam so I don't have to move my laptop around.
I got a webcam, you can.
For the low price of however much a webcam going for these days, I could have a webcam. This is Mystique.
This is Mr. Everlasting.
And this is a safe word.
Safe word.
How y'all doing?
Oh my but Jesus.
How
are you?
Right. I'm
one day. You said one day?
One day. I'm happy that this is my Friday. Thursday is my Friday. So I'm just chilling. I'm all when y'all be kicked up on Sunday though, I be at work. So it's like I hate working on Sunday. I want a job that I work Monday through Thursday. That's it. And I'm off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And what kind of job do you think that would be?
I don't know, but I'm sure somebody got it.
Yeah, 4 10s like that.
Yeah.
Man, by that 4th day, bro, you're going to hate the world.
I did 4 10s. I did it for a long time. I did 4 10s from like March until August at my job. I had got a new position and it changed my schedule, but the only thing with the 4 10s is real tiring. It's tiring.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just speaking from experience. I became like the Joker. I became very, very cynical.
On average, I probably work 55 to 60 hours a week.
See?
That's why I be telling folks when folks be like, "What's your dream job, nigga?" I don't dream of work. I don't dream of working. I don't want to work. I don't want to work hard. I mean, I will work hard because that's how we're conditioned to getting. I don't want to work hard. I don't want to work hard.
I do want to work moderately.
I would rather. That's why my kids are quote unquote spoiled because like I give them. They don't have to work hard. I worked hard, so they don't have to. You know the memes be my hands look like this, so her hands can look well. I need a fill-in, so I'm gonna put my hands down, but y'all know what I mean.
You funny.
How you doing, sir?
Man, look, so I know I done apologized to y'all like 8 times. I'm gonna apologize to the fans. The reason we are late is because of me. I don't know why. I just knew the stream was starting at 9, but we were originally trying to start it at 8, and just my brain was just braining and just completely forgot, bro.
Well, no, because we were supposed to record Monday. We said we was gonna record at 9. So I mean, it's an honest mistake, bro.
So
it's an honest mistake. It happens.
Look, I thought something was all the way wrong. I'm like, because I was coming back from the store because we got a leak in the kitchen. Like my kitchen sink is leaking. So I had to go get a pipe that fits the damn shit on the bottom so I could tighten it. And so I'm thinking I got time. And so I'm driving back, just listening, chilling. And then you call me. I'm like, if Buck calling me, something is wrong. On me.
See, we was worried about you because we like, oh, he ain't never late. What's going on with him?
Yeah, so sorry about that, y'all. But yeah,
No, you fine.
yeah.
We just glad you okay. Because when you hadn't said nothing, I got worried. I was like, hold a minute now.
She was like, "You talking to him?" I was like, "Let me call."
Because I'm like, he don't just like not say nothing. So believe me, we weren't worried about you. We was worried about. No, we weren't worried about this. We was worried about you. Cause I like, hold a minute. Let's make sure he okay.
Right. Oh Lord. Hey, Rashawn. Amy Johnson.
I'ma tell my husband. Don't you? I'ma tell it. And you lucky he ain't here. I'ma screenshot that and tell him. But hello.
Man. I am glad to see y'all, man. I missed y'all. I hate we didn't get to record on Monday because I be looking forward to the sessions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To push that one back, but I'm glad we here now. I'm glad.
I do too. I'm glad we're here. Sorry, we do Wednesday or Monday. I'm a nerd. I had to play D&D yesterday.
I've only played D&D twice, and if somebody could create a hood version, I'd be like all in, bro.
Not a hood.
Like you got to go to the corner store, get a box of Rellos. You know, what I'm saying? The nigga ask you for change, roll the dice for crit. Like if it's on some shit like that, my nigga,
I've never played D&D. Like I don't even have an idea of what it's about.
Hold a minute. Now I gotta write this down to the D&D group because that's a good idea. We're gonna do hood D&D because we playing a kinky D&D right now. So if we can play kinky D&D, we can play hood D&D. So let me write this down. Okay, so we do the hood D&D game. You gonna come play?
Hell yeah.
Cause that, you know what, that might be fun as hell. Hood D&D. Hold a minute now. Watch somebody gonna hear this podcast and they gonna go and make a guidebook called Hood D&D. Mm-hmm. Then we're gonna have to refer back to this and be like, this idea.
I can't. Anytime I see somebody whose name is Ricky, I gotta do this. Ricky! Like you got to, bro.
Ricky should never got in that car.
Thank y'all for coming.
Y'all for coming.
Give y'all some time to come in this evening.
Trickling on in.
We are talking about symbolism and kink, so y'all get ready. And while people are kind of trickling in, it's a lot of symbols that are a part of lifestyle culture, kink culture. The most popular one most people probably know is the upside down pineapple. Because it's a million jokes about an upside down pineapple. But can y'all think of anything that you have seen just in like everyday life that if people, like if you didn't know, like for example, somebody wearing like a unicorn necklace or a unicorn hat, you know what I'm saying, and using that as a symbol for that, or as much as I'm against it, like the Queen of Spades tattoos, black rings on your middle finger, on your left hand, your right hand, like things like that. It's so many things out there, but the symbols that we want to talk about are more closely related to kink and BDSM itself. So y'all come on in, get your ideas together, make sure that if y'all have seen anything or y'all have questions about items that you have seen, maybe it's something that we can answer for you, get those together for you. Mystique, can you think of anything that you have seen like that people would use for like popular symbols, things like that?
I think my favorite is the pineapple because my mom had bought this big ass pineapple clock and it was the right side. But most people say the upside down pineapple is technically the sign of swingers. But most people just do pineapples overall. It's just pineapples. So most people I know who are in that lifestyle have a lot of pineapple stuff. So my mom, I think she found out that my mom likes yard sales and thrifting. So I think it's a nice clock, but it's got a big ass pineapple in the middle. And I was like, Mama, you got something to tell us? Is this what you be doing when the kids be at my house? This what y'all be doing back here off in these woods?
Yo.
Hold a minute, y'all be
right. She's gonna put us back on the TV.
Man. I think one thing I've noticed is I went to go, I'm a thrift shopper, so I love going to go to little outlets like Burt's and stuff to buy different clothing. And I think it was like not even a month after I found out what the upside down pineapple stood for, I started to see it more often everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I even got 2 shirts out of Burt's that is covered in pineapples, and if you look closely, none of them are upright. Not a single one of them. So I was like, "Yo, this is dope. This is dope." Because I know what they was going for, and they did it. They executed.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
That's what's up. Celeste says, I'm seeing more collars. Yeah, it's a lot of people that are trying to pass off chokers, and they really, in that lifestyle. So yeah, that's a good one.
I'm sorry, y'all. I ordered me some groceries, and I forgot that I ordered the groceries. The only spot was this time frame, and like I trust that with the price point of where I live, that people ain't trifling, but you can't trust everybody. So I'm trying to make sure when my groceries get out there, don't nobody go take my food, because I'm gonna fight about my food now. And I ain't got
Duchess
shit
says
in
she has a few pieces of swinger jewelry. What kind of swinger jewelry do you have, Duchess?
Yeah, I'm interested in that because I'm curious as to like what are the different types. Because now that you're saying that, it makes me wonder what have I seen and just didn't pick up on.
I agree.
I love that a lot of people, notice a lot of people at my job have day collars. Some people wear day collars, and I love to be like, I love your necklace. And then I was like, next time I'm gonna be like, ooh, I love your day necklace. I'm gonna be like, I love your day necklace.
Mm-hmm. Black rings.
Hold a minute.
Okay.
I got black rings too. Yeah.
I did not know black rings. Tell Mr. McTitties his wedding band is black.
But it's not just it being a black band, but it's the finger that you wear it on. So and so it's the finger that you wear it on, and so you wear it on the middle finger, but it means something different if you wear it on your left and if you wear it on your right. I'm gonna look that up real quick, but I know that for a fact because I studied. I say studied, but I mean it's been years. But before I bought one, I wanted to know how to wear it. So yeah,
that's dope. Protection.
See, I like mine. Well, I can show mine. I keep mine like it's more of a collar kink commitment necklace type deal, but it's it was a choker. It was a locked collar, and like it didn't. It was a choker, and it's not supposed to come off because it's a lock. But I can't stand things tightly around my neck. I have to have like a long chain. So I put it, and then it's like me. I'm more discreet with it. So like if I wear it somewhere, see, I keep it behind this necklace right here. So like when you turn it around, my lock is back here, but I keep it. It's like that's how I make it more day collary. And then I think I've showed. I don't know if I've showed this before, but it's engraved. We got it the first time we went to Kinky College.
That's dope, man.
And it got a key. I'm trying to find a longer chain to put on it so I can lock it together. But right now the collars, like I can't do that.
I mean,
I can't stand it up around my neck. I don't like no turtlenecks. I cut my hoodies in it. No, I haven't cut my Merciless Mind hoodies because that one was pretty roomy. But most of my hoodies, I cut the neckline of them too.
Let me ask you something. It's like, to announce myself to everybody who's watching, I'm the baby out the three of us now. When it comes to this, I'm the newbie. Is there like when it comes to jewelry, is there like an etiquette? Like, is there like maybe like a time and place that's like taboo? Or I'm gonna use an example, but because we're Greek, double pero is frowned upon like that. Like, is there like
what's double pero?
So like, for example, I wouldn't wear a fraternity hat and a shirt with my letters on. Like if I'm wearing a dog tag with my fraternity letters on it, I'm not gonna wear a t-shirt too, or I'm not gonna wear a hat too. So you only wear one piece of pero means it's short for paraphernalia.
So that I done seen so many people do that. I see people have the shirt, the jacket, the hat. You're not supposed.
But you know what? So let me say this though: sororities don't necessarily live by the same rules. Now, older fraternity members don't necessarily live by them same rules either. But when you get into the organization, and especially most likely when you're younger in the organization. Yeah, that's kind of the understood thing. Like you can have two things that kind of match each other, but you're not gonna wear the letters on two items.
Right.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
The more
For
you know.
like to give you an example, like I could wear an alpha hat, but like I could wear a shirt that says like Cornell and it's black and gold.
Right.
That's just a t-shirt with a school on to the average person. You know what I'm saying? So that's that and then even still that's kind of most people are kind of like, yeah, this is still my apparel though. You know what I mean? So it depends on how you take it.
I'll be right back. Excuse me, everybody. I gotta go get my food. I'll be back. I'm just gonna slide it. I'm just gonna go slide it in the front door real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. Do you think?
Right. Man. Celeste said, man, just struggling with that case of water up your steps, Mystique. Look, I'm about to go through that right now. Look, I'm telling you, I think I got a maximum capacity of 2, 1 on each shoulder, and we're gonna thug it out, bro. I don't give a damn if I look like Moses when I get to the top of them, bro. I'm trying to do it in one trip.
Oh yeah.
So
I get myself told, you know, I can make 2 trips now.
Nah, I'm a man. We cannot. It's not 1 trip, cuz.
That's what one. That's it.
Knuckles gonna be ringed white. The bread is smushed.
Man.
You ain't carried the groceries in until you got 2 handfuls and you got a bag on your elbow. Like if you ain't got a bag on your elbow, you ain't managing right, bro. So,
you be out here looking like the ultimate warrior with groceries on your own.
Just
run.
Yo. So I want to do grocery order thing, but I'm so picky and scared they won't pick certain things how I like them. Well, when I did Instacart, when I say I didn't work Instacart. I just, did my groceries through them when I had COVID and when I didn't have a car for a little bit. They would message me when they had questions, or you could send them notes in the process, like letting them know what kind of things, more or less. It's like if and type situations. They'll let you know, hey, I saw you got this, but they got a deal on these, and they can message you and tell you. But then again, it's up to the person that's working that day, goddamn, because some folks just won't give a damn.
Man.
Not the bread. Yeah,
I'm
man.
sorry, I was muted. I love I've gotten to the point where I hate going in stores. Like going in the store annoys me. I love delivery, especially at Walmart, because they price is the same. Instacart, got all them surcharges.
They do. They do. I ain't even gonna.
But Walmart, whatever price it is in Walmart, $13 a month, unlimited free delivery. You just got to tip. Or you can do pickup. I do pickup too.
Nah, cuz ain't no coming back and getting the rest.
I call it one trip or die trying.
Yeah.
one trip or die trying.
One trip or die trying.
Man.
The shoes we picked, bro, put on anybody damn shoes.
Boy.
Whoever shoes closest by damn.
That's true, man. That's true, man. I just smooth put on my mama's kids to go out there and get them damn groceries.
And like whatever sitting there. Had the damn baby shoes on, boots. I remember one time I stuck my granddaddy work boots on because his work boots were side the house, the side of the door. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to stick. That's one thing I love about being black. You think that shit you did growing up was only shit your household do? Your household did. And then you just realize that these was like quintessential black shit. Like everybody did it. Right. You thought your family was weird. Did anybody have that realization?
With some stuff, yeah, but I'm gonna be honest, I can't think of anything off the top of my head that I can recall. But I guarantee you, if y'all name an instance, I probably got something that can relate to.
Let's see.
Shit, I ain't even from the front. I got one off the top of my head. I used to think we was the only motherfucker with a flow model TV.
Bruh.
Oh, for real?
I was like, man, we poor, man, so don't come in here talking about our TV. And they were like, nigga, we put the TV on top of that TV. Fuck is you talking about, cuz?
Oh no. I got another thing. And when the floor model TV finally got messed up and fucked up, it just turned to the entertainment center for the new TV. Nobody ever took the floor model out. Your mama or grandmama just threw like a sheet or something over it and put the new TV on top of the floor model TV.
The door ain't even get a sheet, cuz. It just next TV on top of that.
I definitely had the sheet. We definitely had the sheet over the old TV.
Used to go on. I got one. Used to go in the store and buy cigarettes and stuff with the little note. Like all your credibility was a damn note.
Nope.
I definitely Benson and Hedges.
Menthol lights.
My granddad, because I used to go and head out of the country store. My grandma and them had a ticket down there, and I would go in there and take the lady the list, and she would get the stuff together and give it to me. And it was like cigarettes for my granddad. I'm like, you just gonna give a minor cigarettes? Because my grandma wrote because my grandma wrote on a piece of paper. That's all the credibility. I don't need no ID.
Dora, I ain't trying to be funny, but it's like that in a lot of small towns.
Mm-hmm.
I got a cousin that when I was 21, he might have been like 17, 18, but he looked older than me. I'd watch this dude walk into like corner stores and go buy like a 6-pack and a pack of Black and Milds, and they don't question him at all. And I try to buy a single beer, and they're like, "I need your ID." I'm thinking to myself like, "This, yeah."
That's one thing I hated about working at a gas station. And hey, y'all, while we're about to get started in a few minutes, y'all put y'all favorite Black experiences, things you thought only your family did while we get ready to get started. Put those in the comments, share.
Right.
But what else was I say? Shit, I lost my train of thought. Damn.
Ooh, we had.
I had one, and then I started reminding people.
Dre said we had the stereo with the multiple settings. My cousins swear they was DJs and had the record player scratching up the vinyl records.
No, we didn't have.
Oh shit, man! Let me tell you, my grandfather was a vinyl collector, and if I had scratched a single vinyl, my head would be in a case somewhere right now. Y'all wouldn't be talking to me because that man, if that man ain't take nothing else serious, it was Alpha and them jazz records. I'm not kidding. That's not an exaggeration.
I got to scratch one record incorrectly, by the way. A Sugar Hill record. And it was signed. I got the black.
Oh shit.
And look, you want to know what made it worse? It wasn't even at my folks' house, like my family's house. We was at a guest house and I did that shit.
Oh,
I got my ass whipped.
Bruh. Oh, that's rough.
The black goodbye from the first goodbye to the.
That's facts.
Because you know you're gonna announce you getting ready to go. Then you got to stand up, and then you got to continue to converse as you walk to the door. And then you got to talk in the doorway, and then you got to talk with your leg hanging out the car while the person in the doorway before you actually leave.
Those are all the phases. You have completed the quiz, 100%. Those were literally all the phases.
Oh, Lord. All right. Yes.
This is my last one before we get started. Did y'all have dessert when y'all ate? Because like most Black people I know did not have dessert.
I did.
Okay, you got dessert.
My desserts wasn't like fancy. Our desserts was like ice cream and cookies or like sherbet. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have like a lot of baked goods. You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean like after every meal there was dessert after dinner.
No, not.
Oh no, not every meal.
No, I mean not dessert. Like I know people like a lot of my white friends. They had dessert like when they had dinner. There was also dessert every day, and I'm like, we had dessert on special occasions. We didn't have dessert.
Somebody got paid.
It didn't have to be a special occasion, but it was normally like a weekend thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I could get like a scoop of ice cream or like a cookie or two if I wanted something after, dinner. But my mom liked to bake. and she didn't do a lot of it outside of the holidays, but like on occasion she'd get that urge and she'd make like brownies, or she'd make her favorite thing to make was strawberry shortcake.
Ooh.
Like using like the individual, and she'd cut up the fresh strawberries, put the whipped cream, layer them up, make them all nice. You know, so it's stuff like that that would be dessert for me. So yeah.
Yep, I feel you.
I feel cakes don't Debbie cake like Debbie cakes used to Debbie cake. They nasty now.
Now that I will say that, because like, you know, we used to make lunches to take to school. So when you make your lunch to take to school, I'd have like little Debbie cakes out the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Talking about, what's your favorite little Debbie cake?
Swiss rolls, hands down. That little motherfucker, because I used to take the little card and bite that motherfucker and pull it and get the last little bit of chocolate off of it.
I thought I was the only kid that did that. Mine are gonna have to be, it's a tie between zebra cakes and the strawberry shortcake rolls.
Okay. Them the variant of the one I had. Yeah. I fuck with them.
They both of them don't taste the same. I haven't had one. I had a zebra cake like 4 years ago and it was not good. Maybe 5 years. I don't know, about 6 years. I don't know.
Yes, Duchess. Yes.
So my favorite overall little Debbie cake is the Christmas tree cake.
The what?
I love the Christmas tree cakes.
Didn't we argue on Facebook about this? About how they good?
I love the Christmas tree cakes. I don't know what it is about the texture of that frosting with that cake, but I like it. But if we talk about like, well, no, man, because I don't know what it is about that fudge that's on the zebra cake. I can't get with it. I like the fancy cake. I like the fancy cake more than I like the zebra cake. I just do. I like the fancy cake more than I like the zebra cake. And I guess this is where I'm the weird kid, because I was a fan of the oatmeal cream pie, but I like oatmeal raisin cookies. So if I had to go OG, I'm gonna say oatmeal cream pie, and then I'm probably gonna say fudge round after that. So
okay, reverse that for me. Fudge round first, and then the oatmeal cream pie.
Fudge rounds.
If it's the double decker though, I'm going with the oatmeal.
Fudge rounds and oatmeal cream pie was like the hard up Debbie cake. Like if we just wanted something sweet, and there was like nothing sweet to eat, and there was only like a fudge round or oatmeal cream pie, I would eat it. But it's like, I'm not going to go pick an oatmeal cream pie first. It's kind of like when you get down to the plain Lay's and the Fritos and the variety chip bag. It's like, well, damn, I want to snack all this left.
Bruh, I will pick the plain Lay's every time. I love plain Lay's and Fritos.
Ooh, hate them.
What?
And unless I can put some hot sauce on them.
No, bruh. Like I will.
Bruh, I just thought I'm sorry, bruh. Besides like Pringles, I just started eating plain chips for real.
Plain Lay's hit. I'm sorry.
Whoa. Let me turn it down a little bit. I got earbuds in.
Oh, my bad. Plain Lay's. I don't know if it happened when I started to get closer to 30. I used to not do the plain Lay's. But after I got older, I was like, damn, these plain Lay's hit. Like they just the saltiness and the chip, that's it. They just salt, oil, and potatoes in them plain Lay's.
Sandwich.
Like they just
put them on your sandwich, bro. Just put a layer on your sandwich, bro.
With some pickle and mayonnaise, like.
Hold on, we gotta give them baby steps. Okay. Just try it on your sandwich, bro. That's all I ask.
Cheetos and original Pringles.
Okay, I know we got to get started, but now you just parlayed me into one last thing, and then we're gonna get started in this semblance.
Okay.
What's the weirdest thing that you think? What's the weirdest thing you've had to eat? Like, what's the weirdest thing you've eaten?
This is the safe word.
Okay.
Besides that.
Oh wow! I just realized what you was. Okay. So when I was a kid, I grew out of this though. So when I was a kid, I used to always fix my sandwich, have my chips, have my Kool-Aid, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would put my chips on my sandwich, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I would dunk my sandwich in my Kool-Aid and then eat it.
Ew.
Especially if it was a bologna sandwich with like mayo and like lettuce on it. Especially
No.
and then drinking it. I was weird, bro.
Topping salad. What's
I was
topping
mad
salad?
weird.
Sea urchin. What's the weirdest thing I've eaten?
Cheetos.
Rocky Mountain oysters would have to be the weirdest thing I ate.
Really?
But I ate them on accident.
That you enjoyed, like you'd eat them again?
They were okay. I like fried chicken liver, and they tasted because my grandmama had them fried with liver and onion. So it was. So my grandma had them on the cab, like on the stove, and that was my fault. I went on my. I was like, oh, some grits. I thought she made grits and fried liver and gravy. So I'm sitting there eating it, and my granddad like, them balls you eat. I'm like, granddad, leave me the hell alone. You just don't want me to eat them. And he like, no, them is balls you eat. Then my grandma like, good, you know what you eat, and they was good as fudge, because it tasted like if you like fried liver, like if you're a liver person, it tasted like fried liver. But once I found out what it was, I was like,
you wasn't that nice shit.
I finished it because it was good.
So I used to perform, man. Shout out to Big Low, man, and shout out to Shizuko. I used to perform at this spot in Pensacola called Shizuko. It was music hall and a vegan restaurant. So they had this ultimate PB&J. This was about the highest thing I think I've ever seen on a menu in my entire life. It was a double-decker peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It had strawberry jam, crunchy peanut butter, Nutella, sliced strawberries, sliced bananas, Ruffles.
What?
And honey. And it was grilled.
Whoa.
When I tell you, it was amazing.
See, I couldn't eat that whole thing because that's too rich and too sweet for me. But that little corner of it that I carve out, that the intersection that I cut that touches everything, I bet it's good. But that sounds so rich.
Wait. So you gonna cut the inside and then eat the inside?
I'm not gonna eat. That's a lot of sweet, and so I don't like that much sugar. So I'm gonna cut like a corner.
Okay.
I'm gonna find me an area to cut a piece out of, so that like touches everything. Like the four corners. I'm gonna find the spot where everything kind of intersects, and I'm gonna cut that piece out and eat that piece. It's my sandwich. I do what I want. Crunching peanut butter is trash. What? Now we gotta fight this list.
Hey, no, the crazy thing though, it's the only time I've ever eaten crunchy peanut butter. Is in that sandwich.
Peanut butter is superior.
So what is it? Is it just peanuts and peanut butter that makes it crunchy?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's like ground peanuts into the peanut butter.
I love crunchy peanut butter.
I'm judging.
I just ate a peanut butter tofu sandwich though, and it was good.
All right. For markers, let's do the intro real quick. And let's get started. Introduce yourself.
This is Mystique.
This is Mr. Everlasting.
And this is the safe word.
Safe word. Tonight, we are talking about symbolism and kink. Welcome to the safe word. We thank you all for being here this evening. We're going to get back to our regular format in a few, but for right now, this is what's going to work best for everybody. So we're just trying to make sure we keep y'all involved, keep y'all engaged. Mystique, what you got for the people this evening?
Well, first, I do see we have some new people who would like to know what we are here at the Safe Word. We are a podcast that focuses on the education and destigmatization when it comes to people of color, most forwardly Black people in kink, BDSM, and other alternative lifestyles. I am one of your hosts. I am Mystique.
And of course, I am Mr. Everlasting, and this is season 4. 4 seasons. So we've been doing this for a couple of years, and we thank y'all for joining us.
We started it big as our pandemic project. We was laughing about, we gonna be damn. I did not know the world was gonna change like that.
The world almost ended. It felt like 2 times over.
Weren't we before the pandemic?
Yeah,
We was right
we know. We literally started right before they shut the world down.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, it became a pandemic project.
Yeah, we would.
It kind of did.
Right.
Them
Okay,
early episodes are hilarious.
bruh. I go back every now and again.
You definitely have to check them out. So tonight, y'all, we are going to focus on 7 different symbols that are a part of the kink communities, and we're going to focus. We're going to start with the switch icon. So the icon that you see that you have above us, and Mystique, you yourself, you identify as a switch. Can you hear me?
Ah, here we go.
She's trying to point at it. She had to focus.
Okay, the switch. Yes, I identify as a switch. That means that I am neither, even though I'm these days I'm more dom leaning than submissive leaning. I think me and my submissive journey are slowly coming to a halt. But I identify as somebody who is both dominant and submissive, where depending on the situation I'm in, depending on the person I'm with, I can either play the dominant role, which is my favorite, or the submissive role. Means I switch back and forth. Like I can be like, I'll step on you over here, and then I'd be like, yes, sir, over here. But you know.
Mm.
And so the switch symbol is a symbol that essentially can switch for either sex. The arrows around the heart represent the person that chooses to switch between the dominant and submissive roles. The heart represents the single being, and it can be worn by either male or female in a relationship, or whoever may identify as a switch. Some of these are kind of short, so I didn't know if you had anything that you wanted to add to that besides what you just spoke about. But then we got some that we got to do a little deep diving into. So,
Yeah,
do you have anything else?
I think switch is one of those things that is pretty straightforward. You know, like the old folks say, that child go both ways. Like that's what they go both ways. That's the best way I can describe it. But yeah.
So I'll ask the dummy question for those that are being quiet. Like, how do you know which role is yours? Like, how do you when you're a switch? How do you know which role you're going to be fulfilling when you're having a kind of like a play session?
Oh, that's a really good question.
And if we have some switches in our audience, man, tell us your stories. Tell us how you feel about the symbol. Tell us how you feel, how that represents you. And to answer Sir's question, matter of fact, can you put that on the ticker across the bottom of the screen so they can read that if they want to reply to it?
Let me type it. Yeah, I'll throw it up there.
All right.
I think it depends on the person, and it depends on I just automatically know upon the energy you have if I would give you like a more topping role, because I like to bottom more than I love bottom play, but not that kind of bottom play. But I like being the bottom sometimes, and I like to do like impact, but it's more of the high level submission. That's not really my thing. But it's like there are like only certain people who I feel like, okay, especially because I'm so tapped into my dom side, it's like, okay, I can respect you enough to do this with you. But it's like when it comes to, Mr. McTitties, I can be a little bit more submissive with him because, that's, because as a good Proverbs 31 wife, I need to be submissive to my husband. I'm just playing. I couldn't get that out with a straight face. But being submissive to one's husband, he put me in my little place every now and then.
Ariel said, I noticed I'm switching primarily with women, but it definitely depends on the energy.
You know what? I did a scene with a woman top, and even though she was harder than the men, she one of the only people that has gotten my butt to bruise, because my butt, I be trying to make bruises and my butt will not bruise. I'm like, I want to see. I be in the mirror trying to like scratch my ass, and Mr. Matthias like, baby, look, you see a bruise? I know you see one. Like, damn, I ain't got nothing. My booty don't be bruising. But she got bruises on my butt because she was doing a caning scene because I had never been caned before. And man, she whopped that cane across my ass so bad I said hallelujah, man. I was like, damn, and I had a big ass purple bruise right where that shit landed.
Shit. Squiggy got a good one. Squiggy says, Switch for me exists beyond a binary model, and it seems to be more of a spectrum based on power dynamic versus roles. Think wrestling. Sometimes I'm on top, sometimes they are, depending on the flow. That was a damn good analogy.
It is a good analogy.
You never miss. See?
That was damn good.
I love that. You need to say it. I'm gonna respectfully copy and paste this.
You know what? I'm gonna put a star next to that comment, man.
And that was a great comment.
Appreciate you for tuning in, Squid.
All right. Anybody else have anything they want to contribute to the Switch symbolism?
Switch game. People be forgetting us little switches though. They be like, "Are you all the tops in the house? Say yeah. All the bottoms in the house say yeah." And then it be us niggas. They be like, "Get in where you fit in." Like, oh, so you want to erase switch erasure? I see. Because I was at a party once and they was like, "Okay, all the doms." Now all the subs were like, "What about us? What about us in between?" And they was like, "Okay, you go after the doms and before the subs." I'm like, you know what? They said you gonna switch off.
Would have been more appropriate if they were like, "You stay in your place."
Stuck in the middle with you.
I love that.
Yo, while we're waiting to see if anybody else have anything to say, I'm gonna tell y'all something that I thought was kind of insane to read while I was doing a little research for this. Mm-hmm. So the first 4 icons in ownership were designed by a guy named Thanos. And they were first used in 1995 with the slave register, which is basically like a handbook that they would have for BDSM and for kink community. But as far as like having designed like clear symbolism that had meaning and stuff like that, these symbols really just came around in 95.
Wow.
So, you know, before then, like for the Switch icon, no one knows who created it. The same thing with our next icon, which is the polyamory icon. Like no one knows who actually created this. And I'm sure you can probably dig a little bit deeper. But of course, polyamory is the symbol for either sex. The infinity symbol represents a long-lasting, trusted union between all people involved. The heart represents unconditional love, and it can be worn by anyone involved in that relationship. I think it's only appropriate that Mystique is allowed to elaborate on this one as well, because this is something that she can identify more than I can. So would you mind sharing your experiences with our audience?
Well, with polyamory, you know, is my poly, which is multiple or more love, many loves. It's literally, we've done episodes on it. We have episodes coming. I have content coming with someone, with one of our guests we've had in the past, Mazaku, about polyamory. It's just, it's such a large umbrella. It's like there's arguments of ethical non-monogamy, which means being non-monogamous, ethical. It's, do not restart now. What the hell, computer? Oh
no! Uh-oh.
Technical difficulties. It happens to the
best. Oh no!
I know exactly what happened. This is what happened when you ignore that update request on your computer for too long.
Oh. Well, I can talk about polyamory from a scientific and etymological. That ain't even a word.
It sounded cool,
etymology is a word. But from the standpoint of etymology, maybe you should say it like that, because etymological that anyway. Yeah, that shit ain't gonna happen. So polyamory, free love, is essentially what the term means. There are multiple forms of polyamory. The most people automatically assume that polyamory just means like threesomes galore. Mm-hmm. And that's the part that people really have to kind of get off of it. And traditionally, most people look at polygamy, which is where there are two women and one man, but then you also have I don't want to say it's polyamory, um, where you have two men and one woman. I'm trying to find my.
Oh, you have polyamory to be in.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm here. I was trying to. I saw my. You know how when your computer be about to update and restart, and when I was trying, I was like, "No, you better not," and it started right before I could click the wait button. But I think I like the little polyamory symbol. I feel like it's one of those things that it could be because some people, you know, I'm not the type of person, I don't hide my lifestyle, but I don't feel the need to volunteer my life to everybody. Am I echoing?
Yes.
You know what? My computer is coming back on, and I might be coming through my computer mic too.
It's okay. It's not that.
Yeah, you good.
I think.
Okay. But I think for most people, they want to be able to display aspects of their life to their to the public. They want people who are also of that lifestyle to be like know who they are. So I like this symbol of polyamory because it's subtle. Because you can be like, okay then. Because me and some of my friends, we have the chant where it's like when we meet somebody or if we're watching a show or something and we see somebody who is in a lifestyle like in like kink, BDSM, polyamory, we always go, one of us, one of us, one of let me leave and come back. I'm gonna come back on the computer. Okay, so we good now. And you're back.
Yeah, thank y'all. So thank you. Yes, polyandry is when it's one woman to multiple men. Polygamy is where it's one man and multiple women. Then you have polyamory, which is just free love, and polygamy is actually marriage, like legal ties to people. So, Dora, you saying something?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm trying to.
Okay, there you go.
Maybe I need to cut. Trying to figure out how to cut this out without an echo. Technology, folks. But it's like y'all hear that? Let me see if it's a way.
If you could turn down the volume on whatever the other item is, that should take care of that.
Testing. I wonder is it coming through on my phone? Y'all continue. Let me fiddle with this.
Okay, I'm gonna mute you temporarily. Oh, there you go. All right.
Now you good.
What up, Clarissa? And no, we ain't starting back over.
No. We definitely not doing that. Definitely not doing that. She said, wait, we are 48 minutes in. Nah, yeah, we definitely can't do that. But yeah, so basically that's a polyamory symbol. So like a lot of people hear about polyamory, but they don't necessarily know. Some people don't even know that there's a symbol for polyamory. Or they don't know there are multiple forms of polyamory. So
I think that's really enlightening for me because like for me, before I got, started hanging with you guys, getting educated on it, I just assumed everything involving multiple people was polyamory. But, understanding that there are different types, different dynamics, because for every dynamic, there could be like an alternate version for the next group, for the next community. So, to each its own isn't necessarily like a negative term in this. It could literally be our expression of love is different than y'all's. But we're still all one. I think that's dope.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, but it's kind of like a static or something going on.
It was real low or something.
Okay, what about now?
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out why it goes.
Where's your headphones?
I can put them on. Give me a second.
All right.
I gotta look like I'm at work.
Yeah, man.
Is this bad? It's still. It's
Yeah, I still hear echo. Do you have your phone? Is it your phone that's doing it, or do you have speakers connected to your monitor and your like your external speakers?
I don't. It's coming from my speaker. It's coming from my speakers.
Can you
Just
turn?
mute me and y'all can see.
Like, do you have external speakers? You can like literally like turn the volume down on those.
I don't. I think I need to. I wanted to. Do I got it live? I'm sure.
It's a cougar loose. Wait a minute.
A cougar loose.
Wait a minute. I need you to explain that, man.
Because on this show, a cougar can mean a bunch of stuff. So
right.
You can't just be talking about a cougar loose in kink chat. Like, come on.
Right.
It's like you talking about like a real cat. Like, never mind, that ain't help you.
That didn't even come out right.
Can y'all hear me? No,
it's still echoing. Well, it's just something we just gonna have to roll with, Dor. Like, don't put much any energy into it. You're just gonna have to sound like you're in a baseball stadium for a little bit.
That's okay.
All right, y'all. We're gonna move to our next symbol. Our next symbol was actually designed by Sully, Beautifully Bound, back in 2016. This is the symbol for littles. So a little is a symbol of an own little of either sex. The closed circle represents a collar. The collared little is spoken for and off limits to others. The open square represents an unlocked open cage where the uncollared little is available to be approached. It says the heart represents the little soul inside, and of course, it's worn by a little. Now, for people who may not know what a little is, Mystique, can you tell them what a little is?
Well, a little is somebody in kink is it's a form of age play, and there's somebody who they may experience things like regression, or they like to play a role that is more childlike, that is generally maybe under, I can't remember the official age, but it's like under 10, maybe under 12, because they have littles who's like really small, like maybe 7 and under. That's that mental age. They like things like pacifiers, stuffies, games. They like to be in a more childlike age play role. But then, you have the middles, who are people who age play a little bit older. They're not exactly into like the babying or the smalls, like really small, but they are not necessarily teens. And then, you have the teens, which is people who assume a teenager role.
Have you ever had to deal with a little in a dom role?
I was talking to somebody about this a while back. I'm not into littles.
It's not my kink either.
Huh?
It's not my kink either.
Because I don't like a lot of children. Like, I like my children and a choice few others. But it's like when it comes to children, it's like I don't have the patience.
You know one thing about it. So let me. I can't say that it's not my kink, but it's not like at the top list of kink. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I've ever dealt with anybody that seriously identified as a little. So because I've never had to actually deal with that, now I've dealt with brats before. But just because they're a brat doesn't make them a little. You know what I mean? So
right.
So like I've dealt with brats before, but I've not necessarily ever dealt with a little. And so I can't say that it's my thing, but personally, I just say it's not my kink because I feel like I couldn't deal with it. I feel like they'd be too annoying.
Yeah, it takes a certain type of person to deal with a little. They're more of a people who like to assume the mommy or daddy dom role. So there are certain people who can deal with them. I'm not one of them. I don't have the patience. I can admit that I don't have the patience.
I feel you. So the next symbols that we're going to get into are going to be our ownership icons. And the first icon that we're going to pull up is going to be the shield. So the shield is a symbol of a male owner, master or dominant, or a female owner, mistress or dom. So the shield represents the owner of the slave or the submissive. The up pointing arrow shield represents the male biology symbol. The cross represents the female biology symbol. And of course, it's worn by the owner, master, or dominant, or a female owner, mistress, or dom. And the shield was one of the first original symbols that was introduced in 1995. So
I just be learning stuff.
So it's I tell you it's crazy because before I did research on this, I never really knew that they had I've seen this symbol before, but I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it was for. I didn't know what it represented. And so I thought this was a really, really good one to bring because this is one of those kind of aha educational moments.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always cool to learn about the things like this because this is the symbolism that you might see in everyday life or that you might just see out and about. Yeah.
Oh, y'all can hear me?
Yeah. And
okay,
ain't echoing.
I fixed it.
Okay.
Look at me being all techie.
It's funny. I'm looking at these and the one that threw me off, I was like, wait a minute, Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Okay. Thank y'all for working with me through I've been having issues with my sound on my laptop for a minute.
Are you good? Sorry about that.
I see these symbols on. I've seen these symbols before. Like a lot of letter people, Lord, leather people have these type of symbols and stuff. And I don't be knowing. I'm like, oh, they just cool. They got their little cool kick ass symbolage, but I don't really know where it come from.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
And then that you mentioned, I think that's the first time I ever saw these symbols too, when it was in the leather community. So the counterpart to this would be the circle.
It's loading. Hold on.
Okay, no, you're good. So while it's loading, the circle is a symbol of an owned, submissive, or slave. The closed circle represents the collar. The collared submissive or slave is spoken for and off limits to others. The up pointing arrow represents the male biology symbol, and the cross represents the female biology symbol, worn by the submissive or the slave. And the unlocked open cage is the symbol of an unowned, submissive, or slave. The open square represents an unlocked open cage where the uncollared submissive or slave is available to be approached. The up pointing arrow, of course, represents the male, cross represents the female, and is worn by an unowned submissive or slave. So if you ever choose to step into a dungeon and you happen to see those symbols, it'd be real beneficial for you to know what's what before you step to somebody and get your head knocked off.
I need to figure out what the symbol is for open and looking, because I am currently I'm open to, I don't want to say looking for because that sounds weird, but I'm open to a submissive. No preference on gender. I've been open to, I need the symbol that says open for a submissive. Like, you need to find out what that symbol is. You know how people be having like the little rings and stuff that be like, I'm open to dating. I'm not open to dating.
I'm wondering, you know what? That's an interesting point, and I say that just because, from the dominant standpoint, all you really have is the shield.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So, like, the shield just represents your position, but it doesn't necessarily say that you're open. But then, also, when you think about it, the submissive is the one with the power until you actually go into a power exchange. Like, because a dominant can't be a dominant without a submissive.
It's true.
So you gotta have someone. So with that, but that's what I'm saying. So like technically, those symbols, the unowned symbols, would be that symbol that you're looking for. Like you would just wear a shield to identify yourself for who you are. And then you would have to, as the dominant, approach the person that's unowned that you would be interested in.
Well, the
I mean,
submissive can approach the dominant too.
I mean, the submissive can approach the dominant, but I'm talking about I'm just talking about in the framework of the symbolism that we're
Mhm.
speaking about. There's no symbolism designed for a dominant to be approached the way that it is for,
Right.
dominant to approach a submissive, as a submissive to approach a dominant. So
I feel like there are ways to respectively approach anybody, even if you're not sure, because like you don't really know what somebody, just like you don't know somebody's relationship status just by you don't know someone's relationship status just by looking at them because I don't wear a wedding band. Do we have wedding bands? Yes. Me and him sometimes but we neither one of us we've never worn our wedding bands. Like we have them and we wear them like if we want to be fancy, like if it's our anniversary, or if we're gonna go out, or if we're like around like family special occasion or something, we may slip our wedding bands on. But we've been married 3 years, and most people wouldn't know because we just don't wear wedding bands. So you never know. And if somebody was to approach me and try to ask me out or something, they wouldn't know I'm married.
is that the
So
reason that you don't do it?
no.
Because it's easier, because it's easier for you to get dates that way. And
Mm-mm.
I'm just asking.
No, it's just I never formed the habit. Like I kept on my engagement ring for a while, but after it got broken when we was moving, I haven't got it fixed. And then when we got married, it just I guess stuff like that is not that there are people who live and die by their ring, and like all they want to do is be like the people who when they get engaged they got to do this at every point. I ain't really got to. It just ain't. It's not something that's important to me. Like I know I'm married. He know he married. I tell people I'm married. I'm not hiding that I'm married. It's just for me. It's not like habit to wear rings. But I mean, I know where it is. But this is my Gothic ring. I have like several different rings that I wear. I have my Christian ring, and then I have my little Gothic ring because this is my little Gothic wedding band right here.
I got you. So I'm gonna tell you why I asked it, because and maybe it's because you're a woman, but a wedding ring is death to a man. Like I'm just telling you. So that's what
How?
made me ask you. Trust me. That's what made me ask you if that's why y'all didn't wear y'all wedding rings, because it made it easier for people to approach y'all, and then y'all could just have the conversation. You see
I'm
what
gonna
I'm
be
saying? Like
I get approached whether I got a wedding. If somebody most men, if they gonna approach somebody, they gonna approach you regardless. They don't care if
the,
you pregnant,
that,
wedding band.
but that's what I'm saying, because you're a woman. Women don't approach men like that. They will approach a man, they'll see that band and be like, "Oh, never mind, exit stage left."
But
I mean, that's
and also Mr. McTitties, he don't wear his because he work in the kitchen, so he don't
yeah.
want it to get messed up in the water. So that's why he don't wear. He got a silicone band somewhere.
I was just trying to say a silicone band ain't finna get messed up.
Yeah, it's just it's one of those things that's never really been that important to us. It's like we got bands, we wear them to be fancy, but it's not like I don't find myself like I'm not big on symbolism. Like I was saying earlier before I got messed up, I don't mind like I don't hide who I am anymore to an extent, but I also don't have to have every little aspect of every little thing on display either. Like I don't have to have like a symbol for this, a symbol for this, a symbol for that. I don't need labels and symbols. But if you are a person that needs labels and symbols, by all means.
You don't have the Girl Scout patches all over displaying everything. I understand.
Yo, Clarissa, I got hit on the swarm that comes out when you pregnant is insane. When I tell you, now y'all know I was pregnant with twins. So I was out to here. I ain't know y'all back then, but I was out to here. I was huge and wobbly like an obese penguin. And I got hit on so much when I started showing pregnant. I don't know what it is about men that want to hit on pregnant women, but I got hit on every time I went out in public when I was pregnant. I got hit on.
I can tell you why. But if I use these words, then we're gonna get demonetized, man. I'm not trying to get us that.
Clean it up, clean it up.
So pregnant porn is good. And you ain't got nothing to worry about.
That's what it is, baby.
That's it.
Of course.
That's it. That's all it's gonna be. That's all it's gonna be.
Glow of the mother, of the expecting mother.
It's not. It's not. Bro ain't trying to be a daddy. He's just trying to be your daddy. For a night, maybe 2.
Nah, I wouldn't even date if I was pregnant.
I know women who fuck when they pregnant.
I mean, you know how I say I will never kink shame. I would never judge anybody, but I will send a strong fucking side eye in your direction.
There's a whole porn category just for that, man.
I know. There is, you know, breast milk and leaking titties and everything else.
I ain't gonna lie, I do like a good lactation vid. But on Celeste, I agree to a certain degree with you, Celeste. Women typically receive the most gravitation from men during the time frame that we are menstruating and pregnant. Pheromone senses. I agree. But I will say this. I feel like this is just me, my experiences, that women are slightly more sexually aggressive right before y'all cycle start. Y'all become that meme. What's that meme where the girl looking down over her glasses looking at you? Y'all become the embodiment of that like a couple days before y'all cycle start, bro.
You know that's because of ovulation.
Yeah.
Your body wants to make a baby. So your body, since your body wants to make a baby, it makes you more, your hormones rage. It's like, come on now, this egg finna die. Come on, get with it, with it. But see, my IUD the undefeated champ. We going 9 years strong. Hey. One more year in this bit. I'm a cry over it. I ain't cried over a breakup in a long time. But when I tell you, when they remove this IUD, that's gonna be my new symbol. I'm gonna dip it in resin and I'm gonna wear it as a necklace. Because me and this IUD done been through marriage and bald headed whole shit, and we is undisputed. Man,
look, all it takes. Look. I'm glad she said that, bro. All it take is for a woman in that period of time, the ovulation stage, to lean in your ear while you deep in it and just say, leave it in. Bruh, I'm out of that. I'm done. I'm finished.
I'm gonna be a auntie.
Bruh, the instant I hear that, it's over.
That one good swimmer.
Oh yeah, Michael Phelps shooting out if she say that, bruh.
It's the fact that my baby daddy had 2 good swimmers, let alone one good swimmer. He had 2, goddamn. But anyway, next topic.
Shit.
You got that ownership logo for me?
Yes, there it is.
All right, bring that up from the record. So the ownership and possession was derived from the ownership flag. It says this combination represents the shield as the owner, head of the household, and the thick circle placed on the shield represents the collar of the owned submissives and slaves. It's popular with the head of leather families or kink houses containing more than one master-slave or dominant submission relationship, where some or all of the rights associated with the property ownership are held by the master, mistress, owner, or dominant, and is worn by the main master, mistress, owner, or dominant. So essentially, if you are a part of a house, the person that founded that house, this is the symbol that the founder of that house would wear. And then if you had dominants, submissives, or owned or unowned underneath you in that house, they would wear those symbols that we showed you earlier.
Got you.
So I was saying people in a house, they make their own crest too. Because I'm gonna make a crest if we ever do a house.
Okay. I like the
I make crest.
You got a picture of your crest?
I make crest.
Oh, you make crest. Yeah. Okay, then I'm gonna have to slide in your inbox then.
Yeah.
Because I want a crest, but my crest gonna be weird as fuck, man.
Hey man, I'll do what I can do. But
we're gonna be the house or what? I don't know. We'll figure it out.
So sliding from some lifestyle terms to some house terms, and now we want to get into the final symbol, but it's so much involved with this symbol. That's why we saved it for last. And it's the symbol that I'm sure most of you have already seen. This is the Triskelion. So the Triskelion is the logo of the BDSM community. And y'all just hang in with me for a second. So the BDSM symbol was designed to have no obvious symbolism to a person that has no knowledge of what this lifestyle choice means. That's why it kind of looks like a yin yang. People think it's just three-part yin yang. In the early 90s, there was a collective outcry to create a way to be recognized by other people while still remaining quote unquote incognito to non BDSM or vanilla communities. So it was designed to be enigmatic, difficult to interpret or understand, but to a person in the lifestyle, it would be full of meaning to them. So if you notice and you look at the symbol, there are three parts to it. So one represents the B and the D, or bondage and discipline. One section represents the D and the S, dominance and submission. The other one represents the S and the M, which is sadism and masochism. I don't want to do all the talking. So, Mystique, if you would care to, would you want to elaborate on those three things for our audience before we move a little further?
You said
the bondage and discipline, the dominance and submission, and the sadism and masochism.
I mean, we already know bondage and discipline. You give me a second, because I never knew this thing. I was today years old when I found out that this symbol had a word. I have never heard of this word before.
Oh, really?
Yes, I've seen this symbol everywhere, but I have never heard of this word before. I just call it the little BDSM symbol.
Well, yeah, it's called a Triskelion.
But we have the bond, for people who are like, just to give a little refresher course, the bondage is of the restraint nature, the restrict nature, the mental restrictions you have when you're in my words are not wording today. That mic issue threw me off, but we're gonna keep rolling through it. King God be with us. But the bondage, the discipline, of course, discipline, self-explanatory, sadomasochism. I'm a sadomasochist. The bondage, discipline, sadomasochism. People who like pain, like to give pain, all that good stuff. And what was the other one?
I mean, you pretty much said it: dominance, submission, bondage, and discipline, and sadism, masochism. And I agree. We've covered that quite a bit. Yes. But this is where you get deeper into the symbol. So the same reason that there are three parts to it are to represent the three-ray creed of safe, sane, and consensual.
Safe, sane, consensual.
Safe, sane, and consensual. SSC.
You gotta be. I can go on and on about this one.
Go ahead.
Got to be safe. You got to make sure that you take the proper precautions. If you're doing needle play, you got to make sure you have a first aid kit. You got to make sure you have blood cleanup stuff, alcohol, sanitizing everything. If you're going to do impact play, you got to know the zones you can hit, where it's safe to hit, where it's not safe to hit. You got to know what you're doing. Like, you got to know you can't hit the collarbone. You can't hit the back of the knee. It's certain areas you got to be safe. Being sane means you got to be of sound mind and body to do this. That's why a lot of kink parties and dungeons and playhouses have no alcohol and no drugs rule, because you don't need to be under the influence. Because even though people will say, well, I do this drunk all the time, it only takes one misstep to really hurt somebody. So safe, sane, and consensual mean you got to have permission. If it is not an enthusiastic yes, it is not a yes. If your consent is not if it's not enthusiastic consent, if they're not like yes or yo, yes, let's get this done. If they like, I don't know, maybe, okay, all right, I'll do it. That is not a enthusiastic yes. An enthusiastic yes is them being eager and anxious to do it. So if you wear somebody down to a yes, that is not consensual. That is not an enthusiastic yes. That is a pity-filled no. A pity-filled yes. But
so, and I'm glad that you said that, because before I move on, I also want to get into the concept of crack. which is risk awareness consensual kink. So Gary Switch, he was a writer for a BDSM group called the Hewlin Spiegel Society. I just had to say that. But he proposed a new acronym for RAC, risk aware consensual kink, because he said, unlike SSC, RAC is predicated on the idea that while we can do our best to mitigate risk and make BDSM as safe as possible, there will always be some level of risk involved. Clear negotiation is necessary to ensure that all parties are aware of those risks going into a scene, and consensual remains unchanged. But since consent has always been the cornerstone of BDSM, and as the quote above illustrates, it needs to be explicitly stated. Uh, Basically, after learning all of this and considering both abbreviations in the context of what we do, a lot of people said that they seem to identify with RAC more. Because you think about this, every time you engage in rope bondage, there's a risk of nerve damage. You can misplace a slap across the face. You can dislocate somebody's jaw. Slip of the knife can cause a severe wound. And the list goes on. So knowing the risk doesn't make it any less excited to do the things, but it does make better players when you give the entire framework for communication and negotiation. So, I am. I'm gonna be honest with you. I kind of feel like they still one and the same, but it's almost like you need to have SSC to still be aware of RAC.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
It does. See, my favorite one is long as hell, but it's YKINMKBYKIOK. And
it means what?
Your kink is not my kink, but your kink is okay. Hold on a minute.
Okay. That was cool.
Yeah, I learned that one from a class. I learned that from a class I took with Masaku from last episode. I was like, that's one of them. It's like YKINMKBYKIOK. So you know how I say that I will never kink shame anybody, but I will send strong side eyes in your direction.
So
that's my favorite.
Did you know that can you pull the symbol back up right quick?
Yeah. I had taken it down because one of our viewers was saying they was blocking Mystique's face, and they wanted to keep the connection going.
Okay, well, no, we good. Well, we gonna take it off real quick, but I just wanted to take a look at something real quick. So the holes of the dots, in the quote unquote yin yang shapes, they are not dots. You can take it down here. They're not dots. They are meant to represent holes, and there are holes because once, like we stated earlier, I can't be a dominant if I don't have a submissive that allows me to be a dominant. So it's meant to basically say that you can't have one without the other. You can't have dominance if you don't have submission. You can't have bondage if you don't have discipline. You can't have sadism if you don't have masochism. And then the ring outside of the three divisions of the three just basically represents the unity within the BDSM lifestyle. So almost like a border, just to say that no matter where you fall into the Triskelion, we're all one family.
I kind of love that word, not Triskelion. That would be a cool name for a kid, like Triskelion. Like, think about that, Triskelion. I like that word. It sounds kinky.
I like the word. I don't know about a name. That's gonna make it really interesting for a kid growing up.
Right.
I mean, look at my first name. I grew up with a unique first name, and I'm good.
But your name doesn't have to do with the kink community.
Right.
I feel like there is somebody out there who to name their kid something kinky.
So but you know what? So the thing is that even though the BDSM Triskelion is only one form of a Triskelion, there are a lot of them in like Celtic culture. But they don't look like that. Because the term itself represents a figure composed of three curved or bent branches that radiate from a center point. But the difference, and if you notice, that's why it's the points, they literally radiate. They go from smaller to larger as they start to expand. So, yeah, I mean, it's they used to design fidget spinners to look like Celtic Triskelions.
Wow.
That's a good part. That's probably one of the best things I can tell you. Like, if you see one, it almost looks like a fidget spinner. Like you can hold the center of it, and it's got like a point that comes out curves, point that curves out curves, and so forth. And you can spin it. So yeah.
It's dope.
Learn something new today. I love when I learn new things. You know, I am all about the education and the learning.
And we love to have a good time, but we have to come back and we have to drop a little knowledge on y'all from time to time.
Yeah, we have to. You know, I know y'all always want to do the fun stuff about. Okay, tell me how you do it, the sexy stuff. But every now and then we got to come back and we got to go to we got to do the pay. Like Andrew said, we got to do the paperwork. That's when you talk about the more educational sides of everything, or like the boring, quote unquote, like not as fun sides of it, the educational side. That is when you do the paperwork to get to the fun stuff. Because if you don't do these fun things and if you don't do the fundamentals and the learning, you won't be able to enjoy yourself while doing the actionable parts. Because that's how people get hurt.
Facts.
That's right.
Good facts. You got any closing thoughts?
You know what? I'm going to end it with this. I saw a TikTok video. I already knew it, but I saw Little Richard. A lot of, Little Richard's song, Tutti Frutti.
Yeah.
A lot of people did not know the original lyrics to Tutti Frutti. Because, the original lyrics was Tutti Frutti, good booty. And I saw a video where Little Richard was talking about it. And he was like, booty was good. He like, people out here want to pretend that booty's not good, but booty is good. So I think we're going to leave it with booty is good. And even though I'm a fan. And on that note, this is Mystique.
This is Mr. Everlasting.
And this has been the Safe Word.
Safe Word. We out.
They call me the Dick Whisperer because of the way I make them rise. 10 hut like soldiers, ready to fight. Mystique gonna take good care of you, make you feel like a big kid now. So come grovel at my feet and give your mistress a bow.
Yo, I'm no chiropractor, but I'm about to crack your back. Everything you never knew you need is going down tonight. I hope you got your say we're ready now. Let's take a flight. Have your elevator higher than the sky and D, floating on cloud 9 in ecstasy. You be falling in love, making love to me. Now, girl, what's my name?
Eternity.